Hello everyone, welcome to the next session from the National Education Cycle. I'm your FASI Alex, and for this session, it's all about objection handling. So whenever you're talking to an EP and they reject something, they object it, they say, no, I don't like it, or they say, you know what, but how about this or this? So essentially it puts you in a corner, and it's sometimes very difficult to come up with a response or an answer. So this session is going to be all about being able to handle objections. So what exactly is objection handling? Objection handling is when a prospect presents a concern about the product service a salesperson is selling, and a salesperson responds in a way that elevates those concerns and allows the deal to move forward. In short, it is being able to respond to a concern with a solution. So a nice way to actually being able to handle objection is the 3 F's of objection handling. So first, feel. Feel if they resist, don't fight back. So instead say I understand how you feel. So it's very important that you don't resist and fight back to their objection because it's only going to make things worse. Next is felt. Others have felt the same way you have. For example, they have an objection, be like, yes, I understand. I've been in the same situation you have been before, and that helps them feel a bit more reassured, and then it'll be easier for you to find a solution for them. And lastly is found is here's what I found towards your problem and how we can work it around. So now you understand how they feel, you give them that little reassurance, and you can say, this is what I found, this is the solution I found to your objection, this is how we can move forward. So think of these threes when faced with objection, but remember, always approach EPs with empathy, since that's the most important. Okay, so here are some examples. I'm looking for an internship where I'll get paid for short-term opportunities and EPs with no experience, right? And that's very difficult to find. If you have no experience, to get a paid internship is very difficult. So chances of a first or second year getting a paid professional internship is very slim regardless of their major. If you want a paid internship next year, you must utilize your first, second summer to gain experience and skills to help you stand out in order to get that internship later. An Isaac Exchange offers you international experience, communication skills, the ability to be autonomous and solution-oriented. You can sell them countries like Romania and Turkey who have many short-term opportunities. The durations are short and accommodation is provided. The key is convincing them that with no experience, the best is to get that experience, and that is possible through a short-term GT. So you get the objection of, I'm only looking for a paid internship, but I have no experience. Then you have to convince them and show them that a short-term opportunity with no experience is good for them because it can help them in the future to gain that internship where they can get paid. Okay, here's another example. I may want to go to a competitive country. So to a country that isn't a IR partner and is very difficult to get accepted to. For example, like a Canada or Germany, where they have a huge amount of applicants and it's very competitive. So you can't tell EP that no to go into a country you know they won't get accepted to. However, you can have them apply to other countries as a plan B. So offer them something else. Convince them to apply to another country um, that may not seem as attractive as the one that they want, but it's still very attractive and it's still really good for them. Um, and it's very important then to also ensure and convince them that applying to our IR partners ensures the quality and the safety of their experience because we have good communication with our IR partners and we're able to ensure the quality of their exchange experience. So if someone wants to go to a competitive country, it's very okay. Say okay, you can apply, but also tell them that there may be a high chance you won't get accepted, and then it's important to tell them opportunities from our partners that may be close to what they're looking for. Okay, another example. I'm interested, but I'll apply later. Um, the opportunity won't be open forever, and this is something that you can respond with. The opportunity won't be open forever, and eventually the opportunity can disappear. The earlier you apply, it will increase your chances of getting accepted since you will be one of the first people added to the shortlist, which makes you stand out. If you aren't too sure about that time and opportunity, I can find you something else that starts later. Okay, so you want them to apply, and of course you don't want to force them or push them, but sometimes they don't want to apply because they feel hesitant, and you want to give them reassurance as to why they should be applying and why it's important to apply and be very active during their application to not just drop out halfway. Okay, so these are some of the solutions you can have towards that objection. Okay, another one is the pay isn't high enough. So when you have the interview with the company, you can always negotiate for a higher pay. In addition, when you start overtime, your salary could increase. So even though the opportunity may say, let's say 2,500 euros, but it could actually, you can negotiate with the company to negotiate for a higher salary. It's just a matter of the EP being good at negotiating. Um, Next, it's good to explain to them that getting international experience can help them land a job in the future that pays really high. So getting that international experience may not be the best paying, but that international experience can really help them stand out compared to other people in the job market. And having international experience again gives you huge advantage towards others who have none. And I believe lastly, my schedule doesn't work with your timeline. Explain to them that you are between the age of 18 and 30. You can go and exchange experience. So it's very important to that they don't wait too long because time is ticking. Um, you don't have to go. They don't have to go now, but they can go later. So that's something that you can also propose to them is that you don't have to push them. They can go later. So they can also apply to an opportunity that the realization date is later. Or they can apply to one that starts in a half a year. But if they don't want to apply now, it's very important that you follow up with them in the minimum in around 6 months. So in 6 months, you can follow up with them, or in 3 months, however time you believe is good to follow up with them to see if they've changed their mind. In conclusion, there's so many different types of objections and ways to handle them, it is important to always look for a solution to their problem and convince them of a better alternative. EPs won't jump into your arms wanting to go right away. They require convincing. That's why sales is very important. And make sure you pay attention to the other sessions that describe sales, because knowing how to sell to your EP not only can help you in your own personal life, in your professional life, but also in Isaac. Okay? Thank you so much for listening, and I hope this was helpful.